What's up again, everybody? It's a casual video today. I had a lot that I could talk about, but this, to me, is probably my number one. Why? Well, let's be honest. If you've been following the channel in any way, shape, or form for an extended period of time, you've probably watched a video where I have talked about exactly this that I wanted to see them do, that they haven't really done. LSS hasn't done this before, and it's something that I was desperately hoping that they would at some point do. So let's talk about the article that was posted in concert with the reveal of the Casai gift. Casai, we'll just call it what it is. It's CNC. It's a Casai CNC. It's a CNC. Yes, I'm saying that, and I don't care that that is super cheesy, but that's what it is. And if you didn't know, Casai got her own CNC because she earned the most points in the deathmatch. And there was a deathmatch season that was going on where if you played in an event that was, I think it was both sealed or draft, during the heavy hitter season, then you would earn points for your hero that you played as. So if you won the event, you would earn points for your hero. And they tallied up all the points at the end of that season, and whatever hero had the most points, those winning players would get a commemorative prize card remembering the deathmatch. And that was sort of where it was left. It was like, okay, at the end of the season, those of you who win with, KO, if KO gets the most points, y'all will all receive a special commemorative card. At the end of the season, people were pretty keyed into the fact that it was going to be CNC, like a reprint of CNC, which is not the first time we've seen a reprint of CNC, because it happened in Dynasty as a Marvel Fabled CNC, which that card is quite pricey, and honestly, it's one of my favorite cards that I own. I play with it in every deck that I can possibly put it into. Yay for opening cool cards and really special cards. So Casai ends up winning because she's really good, and people played her, and there's some argument to be made about whether or not this was a super good way of tackling this whole affair of, if the points are posted and people see that Kasai's in the lead, then they're going to force Casai in these sealed and draft events, and Kasai is more likely to win, and that snowball continues down the hill until it's a giant boulder, and then it smashes that like button like you should do down below. But whether or not you think that the entire setup is, all on the up and up, or, the way you wanted it to be, to me is irrelevant, because this is what we should be talking about. The Casai CNC is really cool looking. I unfortunately didn't get to play in many of the limited events that you could actually earn points in. And so I obviously don't have my hands on one of those. If you do, leave a comment down below, because I want to know if you got a Casai CNC, because that's pretty cool. CNC is for everyone. You get a CNC, you get it. No, nobody. It's only a few. There's only a few. But what they did alongside of revealing these is they put out a handwritten version, I believe, of this. No, actually, I think it was slightly different. The handwritten letter was slightly different. And then they posted this on the website. This is an article, really. It's a lore story called Bloodied Sands, and it's posted by the LSS Creatives, which I don't know if there's a specific LSS creative that we can attribute this to, or if they worked on it together. The Creatives team, by the way, is the unsung hero of the game, I would say. Literally the unsung heroes of just Flesh and Blood and its aesthetic in general. When I got to go and visit the studios for the Celebrational, one of my favorite moments was getting to talk with several of the members of the LSS Creatives, including Robbie, who was just a fantastic human being. Great conversation. Absolutely loved hearing everything that he had to say about this whole process, and I picked his brain. Honestly, I would love to just sit down and just do that entire thing. I don't do many interviews on this channel. I'm not sure if that's something that people want to watch, but if I had my pick of the litter as far as interviews would be concerned, Robbie would be like one of the top 2, 3 on the list. And this article does something that I've been asking for years, and it buries within it. It carries alongside of it the storyline that the players influence. This is something that a couple of people I've seen talk about since this article was posted, and I'll sum this up very quickly to kind of show you what I mean. In this article, Casai is depicted entering the final round of the tournament. And this is a tournament that has been going on very gladiatorially amongst a lot of different fighters, but they feature the main 6 fighters in the storyline. They talk about Olympia, they talk about Betsy, they talk about Victor, so on and so forth, Reinar, and KO. Now, the way that they spell this out is that they've been fighting, all these 6 heroes have been fighting each other in the Deathmatch Arena. And okay, this is the one part that I'm not a fan of. Okay, listen, I understand that they couldn't have done it the other way, but I think it's kind of lame that we're in the Deathmatch Arena and no one actually dies. Okay, like, this is flesh and blood. I get it that you don't want to kill off the heroes that you've created in Classic Constructed, but I mean, if we're gonna have any stakes whatsoever, someone needs to die. Like, kill someone. It's flesh and blood. It's not flesh and like shoot him with a tranq dart and then carry him out. But whatever, so be it. So Casai fights her way through multiple heroes. She takes down multiple heroes, including Victor and so on and so forth. And she finds herself face to face with KO in the final match. Both of these heroes are neck and neck, which is hilarious because both of those heroes were the top 2 on the deathmatch leaderboard, if you will, leading into it. So either of these heroes could have won this storyline. And what ends up, playing out at the very beginning, it talks a lot about like, the battles that Casai went through are sort of in the middle of the article here. At the beginning, it talks about her, raising into the arena and how she hears, as you can see, she hears the din of the shouting. She pushes it from her mind, and she looks over to her friend named Sada and gives her the nod. And these two were apparently talking shop and trying to figure out like the weaknesses that they could, exploit against KO. And then the battle ensues, and KO is vicious and fast and agile, which is great because it's a nice callback to how he actually plays with agility tokens and things like that. Kicks her in the chest. She kind of flashbacks, relays to the reader that multiple of these other heroes have fallen to the 2 of them. I believe she took down Betsy. Olympia loses to KO, as you see. None of them die, which just, I don't know. I feel like in a storyline scenario, kill off one of them, and then we can, I don't know, maybe we can just say like, let's say Reinar dies. God forbid, right? Reinar dies. If Reinar ends up biting the dust, maybe you, I don't know, spin Reinar off as like an undead. Hey, that would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty solid. Kill Victor. I mean, like, let's be honest. Who cares about that guy? Am I right? Nevertheless, the entire thing ties back in with her original storyline here, talking about her father and the point of why she's in the death match anyway. And for those that don't know, her backstory is such that she is a member of the Drakai. I would imagine she's considered a member of the Drakai. Nevertheless, her father is a general in Volcor. And in the way that the Volcor structure worked before the Emperor kind of took power and unified everyone, is that all of these warlords owned different parts of Volcor and kind of vied for control over the territory. Very like very Japanese history-esque, right? And so these warlords are vying for control, and she is the daughter of one of those warlords named Amir, and she ends up escaping as her father is defeated and then captured by a rival warlord. She escapes, she travels into the sands, and she joins, and I believe ends up leading in some way, shape, or form. Leave a comment down below, Dead Summer Art, if I'm wrong. But she joins up with the Centauri, who are sellswords, and that is why her first iteration is Centauri sellsword. She does so. She starts, selling her ability to wage war and kill for hire, so that she can get enough money to raise an army. Yes, spoiler alert, like the card, and go and overthrow the warlord who captured her father. Took down her family's notoriety and the territory. She wants to overthrow them and find her father and save him. And that's the point, right? That is what she's doing. And so there's a moment where she gets kicked to the ground, and she has an anime scenario where she literally says she won't die here. The music swells, the power of friendship overcomes her, and then she destroys KO, but doesn't kill him. I mean, come on. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever. It doesn't matter that she doesn't kill him, because afterwards, because she's the winner of the deathmatch in real life, she becomes the winner of the deathmatch here. She gets a lot of money, and then it tells a little bit of the story afterwards. She uses that money to raise an army. Her people, which I'm assuming to mean the Centauri, which they are, yep. Indeed, are waiting for her outside of the city walls of this city within the Savage Lands, if you will. They raise an army with all the money, and I guess it's General Chul. I didn't know how to pronounce it. I'm just going to go with Chul. General Chul's surprised by the fact that he is staring down the daughter of the warlord he conquered, and she's not going to accept any quarter. Which is cool. That's a really cool setup. And the best part about all of this is that it's inspired by the real life happenings within the game of Flesh and Blood. This is what I've been hoping for, and what I've been asking for, cheering for, is that they take the lore, which so many people want so much more of, and they just tie it into what people are doing with the game. For example, Uzuri just won a Pro Tour. Tie that into the game somehow. Create an expansion slot card with art that depicts Uzuri, conquering some foe. It could even be that you throw out a lore article and you just advance their story a little bit. Like, for example, we don't know a lot about Uzuri. We know that she was, raised, or at least spent time in Mysteria, and then somehow, in some way, shape, or form, went off into the pits and eventually became the boss of the Spider, which is the criminal enterprise that she runs. Okay? So we know that about her. Why not build on that story, reveal more of her past perhaps, after she wins an event? This gives the capacity for us, the users, the viewers of this experience, the game of Flesh and Blood, the opportunity to kind of fall in love again with this hero. Not because of the way that they play. We are already going to do that. The game of Flesh and Blood is already so well designed and so fun to play that you don't have to try and pull people in that way that are already playing the game. We're sold on that. But what you can do is invest some amount of time, and I don't know how long this article took. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my top number one favorite thing in the world, but the fact that it exists is what makes me so excited. Invest some amount of time in something like this. And the fact that they tied it in with a commemorative card that they can give out, which I am totally cool with. I love the idea. Even though I don't own one, I love the idea of commemorative cards that tie in with events. Look at Yorick, for example. Look at the 5-year anniversary pack that's coming up. Some people don't like that idea. I don't mind it, even though I will probably not get one because I'm most likely not going to make it to Japan, which crushes me to my very being. That sucks. I've been so excited for 5-year anniversary. I'm not super sad because I'm going to miss out on the commemorative pack. That's not what breaks my heart. It's the fact that we don't get to celebrate. I don't get to celebrate with everyone in Japan, in this beautiful place, right? Playing a beautiful game. That is what I love about this. They tie it in with a commemorative card. They connect things together with the story, and you can choose how you want to interface with that. If you don't care at all about this story, guess what? You don't have to read it to know how to play Kasai. If you care even a little bit about the character of Kasai, this is really cool. This is incredibly cool. I love Kasai. The deck is foiled out and sitting right there. It's sitting right there. So for me, this is fantastic. What could that mean for you? What hero would you want to see this happen for? There are so many players out there that want to see what Viserai is doing in Irathiel, traveled through the gateway to the other plane. So the question is, what is he doing? Well, that is very easy to, well, I don't know how easy it is. I shouldn't preclude myself. It is very possible to do something like this at the right time, at the appropriate time when something comes out. Like, for example, let's say the 13th Viserai specialization is revealed, and then you release an article about it so people can know what's happening. A player that might have never picked up that hero could go, oh my god, I love that. That is such a cool idea or such a cool story. I know more about the character now. I want to play that person. I don't know. Look, it doesn't have to be the end-all be-all, but the fact that we see shades of like Legend of the Five Rings and like the creation or at least the influence of the storyline based on the results of a tournament makes me really excited, because there's a lot of like space. There's a lot of lore space that they can run with, and I want to see them run. Not like walk, not once in a while. I want to see them run with it, because I say it every year or so. There's so much opportunity for this IP to become more than just the thing that you and I know. There's a wealth that they could invest in, and I really, really want to see if they actually go through with it, what that could look like. So super simple rant today. Let me know if you're okay with this type of video in a comment below. And if you like this sort of thing, make a number go slightly higher, because then this becomes a 4 and I roll my eyes. Like, oh, can you believe it? This is amazing. It's a 4. Also, join the Patreon and you can get my deck list that I'm going to play at Skirmish Seasons this coming weekend. As always, everybody, thanks for watching.